Two-man game, TMG, get the news fast, AMG, game of two boxes. Name two boxers that hit as hard as this. Yeah, we're cutting to the truth, no, there ain't no narrative. Eyes up on the cup this year, hear the stadium erupt this year. For my team, TMG.
Welcome to the Two-Man Game podcast. You see, we're talking sports.
We back!
Episode 124.
2024. This the year
Double,
last
double.
year?
It's a
No, this
double-
year. Sorry, my bad.
That's a double episode.
What do you mean?
Double 1, 2, double 2, 4.
Oh, see what you did there.
Yeah, come on.
Quick with the maths. Say 9.
Double, man.
Everything, my double.
Double.
Alternative, hopefully we will win a double. As
You
in a
think
quad.
so? You think so?
I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about gender.
Quad? You in 4 cups?
Yeah, man. They're kind of just adding competitions.
Why? To fill up the weeks?
Fill up games, but now games getting called off. I don't think we have enough weeks to play, so I don't have to play midweek games.
Midweek games?
Yeah, man.
What's the league saying? Are you confident in the league?
We're top 2. I think there's 3 games left. We've got to play second twice. But second have a game in hand on us. If they win, they go, I think it's 2 points. But so if we beat second twice, or we beat them and we draw with them.
Have you played them? You haven't played them before?
No. Apparently it should be a good game. Apparently they have an atmosphere. They get a lot of people there to make it a difficult environment.
I haven't been to an agenda game this season, man.
I want to come to, so I'll be interested in that one. We need more high-stake games. There's been so many games that we played second gear and just rolled through. I need something that's going to be interesting. I need something that's going to trash talk us, which we will get this weekend. No, since also not so much, which we would have got last weekend, but that game got called off.
Against Lucian All-Stars.
Against Lucian, that game.
Why did they just talk you?
As in, like, the crowd get involved, their manager gets, one guy, I don't know, he's got affiliation to the team. They get involved, one of the managers get involved. Because when we played them last time and they were up 1-0, we were all over them. We couldn't score. They scored one lucky goal. Like, literally, I believe we cleared it and rebounded off them and went in. Sounds stupid like that.
Tough. Did you win?
You won, but like they scored like 30 minutes in, and we were 2-1 down for at least like up to minute 60, 70, something like that.
So they played they came to
And I remember vividly. I was going back and forth because you know me, I trash talk. I was going back and forth with one of the guys in the sideline, one of their coaches. And I said, like, you guys been lucky, blah, blah, blah. Like, and they said, they were saying something like, do better, play better, like, we could have scored. I was like, okay, cool. See us in 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, yeah, lo and behold, 20 minutes, we're up 2-1.
The game's the game, man.
Yeah.
You give it, you take it, man.
Yeah.
You give it, you take it.
You know what I mean? Like, respect us, know about us, we're better than you.
You give it, you take it.
And maybe they got gas in the first game. We drew 2-2, I believe, and they were up 1-0 and I think 2-1. But yeah, I came on the second half, one man of the match from right back, controlled it, orchestrating, leading.
From right back, you thought you were one Zinchenko thing.
Nah, not Zinchenko, Danny Alves.
You're overlapping or
Underlapping, getting on the ball.
Danny Alves, you sure you want to be Danny Alves?
Danny Alves is the best right back or best full back since
Are you sure
after Cafu.
Are you sure you want to be Danny Alves right now?
Oh, I'm talking about his footballing.
Yeah, I have to say, bro. Crazy.
But yeah,
that's how your name can get scrubbed from the history books, you know.
Danny Alves, man. It's a shame because he has a big shot for being the best striker ever.
But they're gonna ding him now. You know, historically, I don't know how they will rewrite their books, but it will ding him some way.
So I think Cafu is, but
Cafu's better than Danny Alves.
Yeah.
Cafu. Talk to me about Cafu. Cafu's career.
Steam train. They call him the train. There's a train in Italy that begins with P. Is named after Cafu. Up and down the flanks. He defensively aware, offensively good. Obviously, wasn't he couldn't do the inverted thing. Like,
he's not technical enough to play centre mid.
He's not inverted. He's on flanks, centre back. He could do that, but he's not like a Trent or Danny Alves that can do an inverting thing. That's not his game. But
Did he play for AC?
Play for Roma. I think
Roma,
Serie A, Roma. AC. Brazil's got the most capped player. 2 World Cup wins.
He's the most capped player?
Yep.
Flip.
2 World Cups. I mean, Cafu he's Cafu. That's what I can say. He's one of a kind.
I just when I see him, I just think of O2.
You know, funny fact about
Tell me a
him.
funny fact.
He had to go through 7 trials before he got given a contract.
Flip man's a hustler then.
And that's why, since I learned that, I use it as an example to all the boys I train that, you know, don't get through clubs. Like one boy,
Your boys know who Cafu is though.
I've done to research. One boy, he didn't get into Gillingham, which is a bit of a concern because Gillingham are not a great team per se, at least from what I get told. He get offered. I mean, from the
How old is he?
he's year 7.
Got a lot of time.
Got time, but you know, he got released from Millwall, and so which was contentious. And so it was about him rebounding, finding his feet, finding confidence. But from what I heard, I only spoke to him today. I had to finish halfway because I had to go get the food. But it was lacking consistency, just inconsistent. Like he only had 1 goal throughout the 8 weeks from centre midfield. As Dan stats not great. And he wasn't really taking players on, wasn't really being demonstrative, you know, impose himself. And
Just take some time, man.
Trials passed him by. Which is what I'm annoyed because
He'll be back.
I'm annoyed because I said to him, like, I explained to him, you know what a jag is?
Just a guy.
I said, from what I'm hearing, you basically just been a guy on that trial. Just taking up a space, you know, thank you for coming. That's it. And then none of those people won't remember you. Just be like, I think he came trial. Just going through the motions. That's what it seems like. So,
Happens, man. There's just sometimes.
I need to get his desire back. He's got a lot of talent, a lot of ability, quality. But the way he plays doesn't suit most styles in England unless you're playing in a ball possession team.
Oh, do you know who I bumped into? One guy that's a scout at Charlton. You know him. I can't remember what his name is.
Hams?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll be chatting to him,
Yeah. He was telling me that so what did he say his name again? What did he say the name?
What
did he say the name?
Shams.
Shams, yeah. He was saying that, you know, sometimes it's not different academies looking for different things.
Yeah, 100%.
So, you know, he's saying that at the lower levels, you might be looking for someone that's got the physical ability and just a slight bit of tech.
Yeah.
Because you can coach that tech into the person, you know.
True.
It's harder, you know. But South East is a hotbed of talent, but the teams around here are not. They're not the top level teams. They're not. What's the biggest team in South East London? What, Crystal Palace? Yeah. And they're probably still looking for that kind of technical player. Where's the last Crystal Palace guy that came through? It's been a while. More Charlton guys come through these days. We look at the guys that are actually coming through into the top stage, but there's not really any local lads that have come through. I'm trying to think, is it Eze? Eze's a Greenwich guy, local. But I'm trying to think outside.
Lookman as well.
Lookman made it through.
Gomez.
Konsa. Gomez.
Where's Konsa from?
Konsa's from Ends.
Oh, you went with Aston Villa?
Yeah. Konsa.
What's his first name?
Ezwe Konsa. It's definitely from Ends. He went to my brother's school.
What school's that?
What's the one? Harris Academy, the one that the Wiltshire Grey roundabout.
You went to there?
Yeah.
Same one.
Who's that guy? Sarmento that plays for Brighton? Jeremy Sarmento.
Constance our age. He's 26.
Yeah.
Or he's a year below.
He's a year below. Yeah, but he's from. I think is he not Charlton?
Oh yeah, he did. He used to go play for Senrab. Senrab is a local team. I've heard of him. And then he got signed for Charlton. Okay, he was at Charlton for a couple years. Then Brentford. Then that's okay, makes sense.
Yeah, so there's guys that come from this is a
He's
hotbed.
He's from Newham. To be fair.
Newham, is it? Okay, yeah.
Well, that's where he was born.
But he played. But I know that he played in these over this side.
He sounds Nigerian.
No, he's Portuguese or something like that.
Esri and Gogo. Ongoya, okay, maybe fair play.
Who else? I'm trying to think of some more guys. Well, Loftus Cheek is from like Swanley.
Okay, he joined China at age 11. He barely showed impressive vision to sign a long-term professional contract. December 15, 8 days later, he made a call for his first champion squad. He played 71 league games for Charlton. I told him to sign for championship squad. Brentford on a free contract, 2.5 mil. He's got a good profile.
He is a good profile, and you see these guys. There's actually guys that are actually making it. He's like a week in week out starter for Aston Villa. That's a top 4 team. You know, he probably might go Euros if all good things go to plan. Like he's so. You know, there's a lot of talent. There's a talent here, but
he's been playing football for 5 seasons.
It's kind of career.
25 games plus 36. Last season played 2 seasons ago played all games. He's a good solid player.
London's a hotbed of talent. You just need to find your niche. I would say that physicality is a big part of football, and that's like follow it. I think academies follow the trends of what's working at the top level. You know, when the tiki-taka was coming, everyone was looking for that technical midfielder, and that's why you might have someone like Foden make it, because Madison, those guys that are teched up in the UK, they came in a different era. But now that Jude, Haaland, and all of these guys, Mbappe are making, you're looking for the physical freak that can play football. So it's just trends. You're trying to see what's the best at the time. Like Pep has revolutionized the games. Now you're looking at teams that want to play patterns, want to control the games in different phases, play out of the back. It's just phases. Everything changes over time.
Cyclical for sure.
Cyclical. Yeah, for sure. I'm sure the way you coach your team is based on what you see.
I coach my team, ideally, pass and move, essentially playing ball movement, not just from football, basketball as well. Like if I was to take a team's game plan or philosophy, most likely it would be Golden State, if not Golden State.
Find the open man.
Celtics are pretty good at that as well. Ball and play movement is what I try preaching to the boys, but I don't really necessarily have the players for it per se, so I have to do a bit more, defensive stuff, press, work rate, ball over the top, longer balls, more direct at times. Well, ideally my core, which I have the players next season when I get to build my team from scratch. Recruit all my top players.
What you realise is that most of the top teams that you see, the top ball playing teams, the top attacking, they're very good defensively, extremely good defensively.
Well, most of them, they're good defensively because they win the ball back as soon as they lose it.
As soon as they lose it,
they have the ball most of the time.
Pressure you.
The best form of defense is offense. If you have the ball, they can't score. Whereas some people have that other philosophy that I think Jose Mourinho is
about mistakes. He believes that if you have the ball more, you're more likely to make a mistake.
I think he's attributed with that sort of quotes, which I mean is alien to me, but But
it's if you have something for a long time, you're more likely to drop it. You're more likely to be less careful with it. You're more likely to get complacent, get frustrated. That's how you make little mistakes.
It can happen, but if the other team.
But you're relying on your own concentration as well.
If the other team have the ball, how long can you stay focused and cut gaps and execute defensively? You want to be in in my opinion, you want to be in a position of authority and control rather than rely. You want to be proactive rather than reactive. You want to be in control of your own destiny. By having the ball, you're more in control of your own destiny. When you're defending, you're trying to stop the opposition from doing what they can do. So you're not really in control of what you're doing. You're focusing on what they're doing too much, which at times is needed when you play against superior opposition, and you're an inferior team. You got to play what you got.
But I don't think I wouldn't say Mourinho is like a conservative manager or a negative manager. I think he does what he needs to win, and we see that more often that he comes up with negative tactics in those methods. But if you actually see statistically, most of the forwards that he's worked with have had their best season with him. I probably need to read some books that actually Mourinho's and look into more the details and the stats of his actual style. He's not a defensive manager per se, only in certain games, which tend to be the big games, which most people tend to watch. Now, when you play a team against most other teams, he's more on the front foot. Does he overplay? No, but he does emphasize defensive fundamentals more than other top coaches, and there's nothing wrong with that per se. But obviously, just in those big games, he does more take the defensive approach. And obviously, when he comes out with quotes saying that when you have the ball, more likely to make a mistake, that's when people try to ban him as a more of a negative approach man. But it's not like a flipping, David Moyes that gets attributed that, and all these other guys, or Big Sam, and but I actually believe, I think in big games I'm of the philosophy it's important not to lose. You first go, if you're going away, important not to lose. You shouldn't lose. If you even look at, I know. If we look at Man City, digress to Man City. Man City had a very poor big game record last season. They still won the league. They lost to Liverpool away. They beat Liverpool. The away record was awful. They lost to Liverpool away. Did they lose to Tottenham last season? I mean, they may have lost to Tottenham. They beat Arsenal. They lost to Man United away. They struggled. They really struggled away from home. Even this season, they've struggled away from home.
They beat everyone else though.
Yeah, they beat everyone else. That's what it is.
So this season they've beat United.
They beat United home and away.
They beat Chelsea. No, they drew Chelsea twice.
Chelsea, yep.
Liverpool they drew at home.
Yeah.
Arsenal they lost to. Spurs I'm not sure. Aston Villa they lost to.
Spurs they drew at home.
Yeah.
So look, see, like they don't win the big games. They just try not to lose, basically.
true. It's true.
And but it relies on you beat. You have to beat everyone else.
Which they inevitably do.
Yeah. Whereas the other teams, they get so piped up for these big matches, they forget that there's other matches, and the potential banana skins, they drop points in. Like Arsenal got Brentford this weekend. They need to keep up the high octane football they're playing with. It's potential banana skin. As a result, that Arsenal might drop points in previous years. I'm not sure about this Arsenal. This Arsenal seems more complete. I think this is the most complete Arsenal I've ever watched in my life. Outside of maybe the Invincibles, but they seem to have players in every facet that they can do every job. I don't think they have a proven goal scorer, but everyone else is contributing goals, so it's making up.
Yeah, they're not as complete as the Invincibles. They don't have, well, in my opinion, they don't have an Henry, which is good for, in the Prem at least, 40 contributions.
Mm-hmm. But then I think they're making it up because everyone else is contributing at a good level.
And they don't have... I think they have someone equivalent to Campbell in terms of Saliba and Gabriel. That's a good partnership. Vieira. Well, Partey's in and out. But
Rice has been immense this season.
We have Rice. I think Rice can eventually approximate what Vieira was doing.
Yeah, approximate is the word.
On the wing, Saka. I think Saka can do what Perez is doing for sure. And Lundberg, I think he's definitely better than Lundberg already. Well...
Is Martinelli better than him? But I don't think he is.
Nah. Saka, Perez. I think you end up being better than Perez if he continues. Especially putting up numbers.
But then you would say that the Bergkamp type, but I don't think Odegaard is near Bergkamp.
I mean, in the events with Bergkamp was over the hill.
Yeah, to be fair, it's late.
I mean, he's not as good as Bergkamp, no. But you don't have to necessarily be as good as Bergkamp. You know, just
as a controller, Odegaard's
I mean,
very good.
Odegaard, like I said, I'm happy because Odegaard, in my opinion, is more effective than Ozil for Arsenal because he can do pretty much everything Ozil does on the offensive end, and defensively and leadership wise, he's way better.
Do you think so?
Yes, I wholeheartedly think so.
Why has he won that Ozil hasn't won though?
What do you mean?
What has he done that Ozil hasn't done? He hasn't done anything.
No, in terms of performance and value,
I don't think so. 2015, 2016, Ozil. I don't think Odegaard has a season that.
Ozil will put the stats and create chances.
But that season was amazing. It was only that Giroud was on a self-sabotage.
That season, Ozil puts up stats. But in terms of like...
Are you saying that you're talking about influence, game in, game out influence?
Yeah, because there's two sides to the ball, offense, defense. And they were talking about the post-game analysis. If Ozil does not press nowhere near as well as Odegaard does. You can't trust Ozil defensively. When Arsenal have the ball, Arsenal were like basically 10 men.
To be fair, yes, I agree. I wouldn't say I would trust Ozil defensively at all. But he's so talented that you would have other players make up for that deficiency.
He's not that good.
It's the same argument as you have for Rashford. Do you want Rashford running back if he's your only offensive threat? If you have someone that's an offensive threat, why do you want him to be doing defensive work?
But if you're playing a superior team, you can't... Like,
how can you beat us? Okay. Yeah.
You can't have... you can't be playing with 10 men defensively. Unless your front three or offensive machine is that good. But in my opinion, the only guys that could really get away with that were like the likes of Messi and at times the Neymar and obviously Ronaldo. But the rest of the team was phenomenal. So the defense were really good, and the midfield was really good, and they had our offensive weapons. Ozil is not that good, nowhere near, and the rest of the team is not that good for him to do that per se. Your team needs to be of a certain standard, and the rest of the guys need to be reliable for you to just wander off to be given a break defensively.
I think it cost Arsenal overall when they were trying to get to the end goal, but I think also you can't blame Ozil for the deficiency that Arsenal have because Arsenal still have that deficiency. When it gets to April, I don't know what happens to that club. They need to overcome it, but there seems to be a drop in form, a drop in momentum.
They choke.
It's a level of choke, And they would say, I would say last season people were like, "Oh yeah, this is not the you're going over the same old media narrative." But I think Arsenal rang true to that, and I'm hoping that this season it doesn't happen again. It just takes 1 year to overcome, and then the narrative is gone.
31st of March, 4:30.
It's a big game, man. But that's the same time of year when Arsenal season fell apart last year. Around Easter Sunday, went to Liverpool 2-0 up.
But what stats did Odegaard? Let me get 2015-16. You said?
Yes, 2015-16. 19 assists.
19 assists. How many goals?
I don't know how many goals, but I'm sure he did a double.
I hope so.
Of course. Double.
What did Odegaard get last season? He got like 15 goals and
Got 15 league goals.
Let's see.
Sorry, but I think he probably got 15 and 10 or something like that. I'd be shocked if he didn't.
So Odegaard's doing the same thing.
Yeah, let's see Ozil's. But how about Ozil, to be fair? You have Odegaard over Ozil?
And both of them are not great in big games per se, but I think Odegaard is.
Hey, he's a ghosty guy, bro.
I think
Older ghost. Hey, Ozil's. Yeah.
That's what Odegaard said.
Ozil's turning up at more big games than Odegaard, just to let you know.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Odegaard's done. He's done. No, Odegaard. When I went through the stats, obviously I don't remember how each game transpired, but his stats were actually slightly better than what I thought.
In big games, he scores in big games like Man United. If you classify Man United as a big game, I don't know what you classify as a big game
Okay,
because
so
the
last season in the Prem, Odegaard 15 goals, 8 assists,
Yeah.
23
goal contributions.
In
What's
37 games.
Ozil's 15, 16?
I think Ozil probably got I think he probably got like 25, 26.
Well, I mean, I had
Mesut Ozil, 19 assists, 6 goals, 25.
so just a little bit better.
I done it by 2 in 35 games, 3,000 minutes.
My guy, man.
However, since Odegaard played more minutes.
More minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Odegaard played 37 games, Ozil played 35.
Yeah.
But like I said,
That's 2 good games, man.
two contributions less, but defensively he gives us a lot more. So I told you, Odegaard is basically Ozil.
What was the Arsenal team like, though?
No, but
the Arsenal team was not that Arsenal team that Ozil did that was not as complete as the Arsenal team now.
No, it wasn't. Offensively a little better, yes, for sure. Defensively not as good.
Eventually, you had Sanchez and Ozil, so
At Sanchez for sure, and Sanchez is better than Saka and Martinelli. But flipping,
combine them, they might not be there.
yeah, probably not combined, but flipping, yeah, it's true. We also have, was it Walcott?
Walcott was there as well.
Flipping,
Walcott,
yeah. Offensively,
Giroud.
Odegaard, Ozil, Odegaard is like a point. Let's be consented. Odegaard's a 0.8 version of Ozil.
Okay.
Defensively
Good.
and leadership skills, there's a
Do
big
you
gap.
think Odegaard's a leader?
He's
If he's a leader, what happened last year?
He's not at that level yet.
He's a leader, but you said he's got leadership. He's got leadership.
Yeah, he's learning steps. He hasn't learned how to win. He's learned how to win. He's like LeBron. He became a person.
Who's going to teach him?
Like-
Someone taught LeBron how to win.
Like sometimes you can learn.
Who's going to win?
Who taught
Jorginho.
Wade? Who taught Wade? Yeah, Jorginho's there. Remember what did Giannis say? Who taught Giannis how to win? There's steps to greatness.
Giannis actually, to be fair,
Who
no one
taught Jordan
taught
how to
Giannis.
win?
You don't have to break through. You have to
break
see the
through.
joy.
The guy's breaking through. He's going through it. He's learning experience.
You're gonna have to break through the seat. Just let me tell you one thing. All these teams that care about narrative, like Liverpool doing the clock farewell, Arsenal doing 20-something years, Man City don't care about these narratives. Man City are just a top outfit. Like, it's soulless. No feeling or emotion when it comes to what they're doing. They just do it. Yeah, but hey, there's no talk about this double trouble. The double trouble.
Yeah. Double treble.
But they could do a double trouble.
Quarter prems.
A quarter prem. You guys are not talking about what City can do. And the funny thing is, City are so ominous. They're ominous.
It's inevitable.
It's just very inevitable. It's the feeling.
Speaking of City, Felipe Foden.
Ah, man. It's good to see when a guy comes through for you.
Foden or Saka?
You know my feelings on that. I know.
Nah,
my feelings.
maybe the
I don't need to, people don't need to ask me that.
Maybe
anymore.
the debate's closer than ever now.
Why?
Because they're both purring, they're both at the top form.
When one is purring, he's winning big games. When the other is purring, I don't know what he's doing. He's going against
Saka's
the
one
likes of West Ham. Hey, what was he doing before Christmas? I just want to tell you. Hey, Pep said it. He's the best player in the Prem, man. Say that Foden's the best player in the Prem.
I don't know about that.
Do you know what it is? Let me say something. What's harder?
Level.
What do you think is harder? To stand out in a team, a very good team, or to be the best player in a team that's all, just trying to make.
Well, Saka's done that with England at times. He's never been the best player at times.
And what does England do?
I mean, they've got to finals, semi-finals.
Did something.
Yeah.
When he was the best player, they got to the quarterfinals and they came out. Just to let you know.
Yeah.
When he was the best player at the World Cup, they got knocked out. The quarterfinals.
World Cup lost in the semi-finals.
World Cup this time, last World Cup.
Oh, last World Cup's quarterfinals.
Yeah,
He was the best player.
He was. What other tournament was he the best player? Euros. He was the best player. Euros 2020.
I know he bought in both. I don't know which one he was the best player. I can't remember which one he was the best player.
All I know is that Foden needs to play, needs to start. He needs to be given the freedom to do his 1-2s and to run out of defenders. And
That was a finish though. But Foden, has he been City's best player this season?
to be fair, Haaland and KDB have been out. It's So who else? Alvarez?
Obviously, it's Rodri. But he's up there.
Hey man, all I'm saying is that Foden this season, when they needed him to shine, which he hasn't shined often. I think he's been a victim of, other players can do it, so he goes to the periphery of games. But this season, he actually had to step up and actually be there in the big games. He's the one that kind of took the game to Man United on the weekend. He had a lot of shots. He was hitting people, but he was trying. He made Haaland's chance. That he's the one that headed it across for Haaland to miss that opportunity. Shocking.
So she's trying to tell kids when even great players miss open goals.
He missed the open goal.
But
you see, Haaland didn't get disheartened. Yeah, you shouldn't get disheartened when you make a mistake.
Haaland's a machine.
He's flipping. Yeah. Well, he's been poor this season, I would say, for himself. He's underperforming his XG. But Foden was taking the game to Man City, popping up in different pockets of space and showing his technical ability on the half turn. You need to be in perpetual motion when you're playing in these games against low blocks. You need to pass, move. And that's one of probably Foden's best qualities, is that he's got the quickness of movement. He's got the quickness of thought with his 1-2s, moving the players around, breaking down the low blocks.
Yeah, I showed a couple boys I trained today, Foden's goal. The second one.
Because his quickness of movement. It's not.
It's the scans, awareness, the sharpness.
1-2.
All straight into play. It was very, very good goal.
Yeah, people need to work. Those 1-2s are the ways you can break down teams in the low block, the defensive teams. Man United came with a game plan, to sit back. I think they even scored too early. And there's a discussion to be had about Rashford outside of that goal. I think he was shocking and poor in that game, but there's a discussion to be had. But I think Foden is...
Touch on Rashford next week.
Yeah, you definitely need to talk about it. I think in terms of Foden is taking the next step of actually being influential in the game, not just in moments. And you could feel his imprint on that game throughout the game. Even when they were behind, he was trying. He was part of the game. And is the next evolution of a star. Like, you see all these English players coming through. This generation looking very good. You got Bellingham, you got Foden, you got Saka. These are all the guys, Kane. These are all the guys in the forefront of the Ballon d'Or discussion. Like, people's names, they're naming them as like Ballon d'Or candidates. So
Saka, Shayo,
Bukayo.
Sorry.
Imagine if City win the league this year. City do the double treble, and it's Foden that was the main guy. Does he win Ballon d'Or?
Could be definitely in top 10. Top 5 maybe.
He might win it, and they have a good Euros, and he's the star man. What happens?
Felipe Foden.
Because Mbappe, his case, Mbappe's getting subbed at half time.
When?
Last week.
For PSG?
Yeah, PSG is subbing him off. He's just subbing off. They're holding their 0-0s. He's just coming off.
Why did they sub him off?
He's crying. He said he needs to learn to play without Mbappe. What else can he do?
Sure.
Tell Mbappe to cut. I think Mbappe